Hey, what's going on, guys? Let me set up my volume here a little bit. All right. Talk about a cold open. Feel like I've been running around with my head cut off all day. I feel like I have been behind the eight ball, as it were. Let's see here. I almost didn't make it in. I was kind of caught behind schedule, as it were. There we go. And I got some paper. I got some pencils. All right. Kevin, what's up, dude? Let's see. I had the weirdest idea of cyber angels in an art gallery showing of old cover art. Some they are proud of, and, and others they blame on alcohol. There's sound, but no video. I know. I'm slowly blinking into existence. There you go. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, it's good. I got caught behind the eight ball a little bit. That's uh that's been happening a lot this last 2 months. There's two book deadlines, and I'm doing a card set for DC that I'm not allowed to talk about. So I've already said too much. Um, and I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I'm almost done with two of the things on that list. The card set is going to be done tonight to be put in the mail on Monday morning, and the Nira X book is only a couple pages away from being finished. So I'm very excited. So, anyways, let me make this official and get this thing started. Okay. All right, back for another fun Saturday. Hope everybody's had a good week. A lot of weird things happening online, in the news, on YouTube. A lot of things happening that's like a little bit upside down or crazy. It's been a crazy week. So relax. Come relax with your buddy Bill over here, and we'll do some sketching, and we'll escape the madness, as it were. Hope everybody's doing good. I'll jump over to the chat, see how everybody is doing. First of all, I saw that Kevin was here already. Awesome. Glad you're hanging out with us, dude. Ken, what's up, dude? Evening, gents. I know it might just be the three of. No, I see that there's a couple more people jumping in the room. That's cool. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad we're all hanging out together. This is what it's all about, man. Just it's an excuse to get away from everything for a couple of minutes and hang out, draw, come up with some coolio ideas. Kevin says it's just the three of us. Are we gents? Yeah, man. We're bougie. That's what the kids say. Let me see. Let me get my pencil set up here real quick. All right, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I put on my Peaky Blinders hat, but I'm not on camera, so maybe I'll give Nira a Peaky Blinders hat so she could throw down a pint at the pub before she heads to the flat. Throw some stuff in the drawer over here. Yeah, I was kind of like crazily trying to get my computer going, and so I was in the middle of some 10 different things. So I'm glad I'm here. We can hang out here, have a good Saturday, and then I've got to get some sleep. I'll take some video. We're going to be working on that mural every once in a while I talk about that mural that we're doing down at the beach. So that should be fun because the weather is actually finally okay for us to try and finish that. A lot of catching up to do, which is good. I'm glad that we're busy. So it's a good thing. As Kevin says, come with me and we'll see. Bill, create a world of pure deviations. Yes. I would call this show Distractible, but Markiplier already has that name. It's actually a good little show. Kat's got me stuck listening to that sometimes when we're working. So I do like that. Kevin, you were throwing around a couple ideas of the Cyber Angel covers. Of course, I'd have to get some Cyber Angel covers as reference. That'll force me to leave the table. I don't know if we can do that. As Ken says, Courtney has a good idea about maybe Nira or another dark-haired Cyber Angel cosplaying as Wednesday. Since the show is big right now, thing is copping a feel, and Scribe is in the background. You know what? That's you're painting a picture in my brain. This is good. This is good, and I like that idea. My brain. I know it's we're not even to the middle of September yet, but my brain is clicking into October mode. You know what I mean? So I think that is a fine idea. So let's start with that. That sounds cool to me. We'll see if this one is going to be a more of a single character centric picture or not. Here we go. Let me put this down here like so, like so, like so. That way we can see what's going on. Make sure my hat doesn't get in the way. You know what? Why am I wearing a hat? I'm inside. Here, let me take off my hat. It always ends up getting in the way of the camera. The camera being right above the paper, and me being right above the paper. All right, let me just get the little expression here. I think we'll do this one in the normal fashion that we do. Sometimes tightly, sometimes loosely, and with the intention, of course, of inking it afterwards. Ken, that's funny. I just saw your message that you sent me. If Thing is copying a feel and Scribe is in the background, Scribe could be missing a hand. I love that idea, dude. All right, let's get a cool expression on Malka's face here. There's going to be some shenanigans going on in this picture. Yeah, busy week. I was saying earlier, I don't know if you caught it later or if you caught it when I was saying it earlier. Almost done with Nira X Dark Seas number 3 finally. So most of the pages Kat already has for coloring. And I think she's basically caught up to me. So now I've only got a few pages left to finish the story. So I'm really happy about that. That way we can go to the printer. I want to see this thing printed up. There we go. Get a little look on her face here before we move on to the shenanigans to ensue. Can't forget our Delta. Yeah, it's man, we got some really cool plans for 2026 for the new books that we'll be working on for next year, and I wish I could talk about them. All I could do is tease you about it, but we've got some cool things in the works. Here we go. Let me take a little break from said face as we bring this Cyber Angel onto the page. Missing his hand. Kevin says Nira as Lady Death, and Wednesday having a little thing going on. That might be a good idea. I might jot that down. This might be a very Octoberish themed couple of pieces that we'll do tonight. Ken says Nira as Lady Death would be cool. You know what? I'm gonna write that down. Maybe that'll be for piece number 2. Okay, just jotting down a note so that way I don't forget what we're doing. Paul, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Awesome. Ken saying hello. Let's see. Ken says, "Got to have the Wednesday pigtails for sure." I always like putting Malka's bangs or like the way the hair is in the front, and then I'll think about figuring out how to do the pigtails. That'll be good. In fact, I'll throw up some. Throw some quick little reference here for myself, just to make sure I stay on track. There we go. That's all we need. Just a little something, keep me on track. All right, phone, you can wake up now. There we go. All right. I know how to work my phone. There you go. Now we're good. I can just set my phone over here. All right. Cool. Let's see who else is in the room with us before I continue on. Christopher, what's up, dude? Christopher Bouchard says, "Good day, Bill and chat." Awesome. I'm glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Very, very cool. Paul says, "Can't seem to ever be on time for the highlight of my week." Oh, that's okay. I was barely on time myself, so thankfully everybody is patient with me. I signed in like 1 minute before the show was supposed to start. So I guess if you hear me out of breath, it's because I got here in the nick of time. Paul says, "September ween." Yes, exactly. Yeah, my brain is already like kind of Octoberish in thought and in deed. So I do like the September ween sentiment, because I think that's the word I was looking for. I was drawing and talking at the same time, so it took me a minute to find the words. But yes, the September ween, the October sentiment needs to be upheld and observed. All right, so we're gonna have Malka with. She's got her normal bangs in the front, but we definitely have to give her more of a Wednesday look. So we are going to make sure that we put some pigtails on this hairstyle here. We're gonna theme her Cyber Angel costume a little bit more Wednesday-ish. Have our little school tie in the front, but I think I'm still gonna make like the boob window in the front. We got a sexy Wednesday. There we go. Okay, before I get to the pigtails, let me catch up a little bit with the chat so I don't fall too far behind. Oh my gosh, I got to scroll all the way back up. Let me see what's going on here. Some person, what's up, dude? Glad you're here with us tonight. That's awesome. We got such a good group, man. I'm glad you guys come out and hang out with us. Very, very cool. Courtney, what's up? Courtney says, "Sup, y'all." Courtney is like the center. Your Cyber Angel is like the center of this piece right now. That's what's going on right now. People painting pictures in my brain. Ken says, if Chet is in the chat, welding back to the States. You sure it was a good idea to come back? Welcome back to the States. Thank you. Okay, I got you. I typed too fast too. It's okay. I know it's a perfect day for him to be back. I saw lots of pictures that he was posting on the old Facebook machine. Thought it was very, very cool. Saying hello, that's cool. Paul says only Bill can make a month into an adjective. Thank you, my friend. I'm developing my power as best I can. Courtney saying hello, cool. Ken says it's a September to remember. Yes, I like that. It's not alliteration, but I like it. Christopher Bouchard saying hello. Kevin says, considering that Home Depot Lowe's has Christmas stuff going up before Halloween has even hit. Yep, that makes it Septemberween. And that happened at Thanksgiving. Dude, first of all, like Home Depot has awful Christmas decorations, like Star Wars Christmas decorations, but I saw that they have essentially a full-size R2-D2. I was this close to getting it, dude. It's just, but it's kind of like it's stuck on a base. Not that I wouldn't chop it off, but it's like, you know how expensive those things are. It's like they're selling that thing for like $300. And I was like, I got to keep my eyes on Home Depot because I don't know if I'm going to get suckered into getting that thing or not. I really shouldn't. I don't have anywhere to put it. But it's a full-size R2-D2, man. I can't say no to that. But yeah, I probably have to say no to it. I'm gonna sucker somebody into getting me a gift. Courtney says, I'm always ready for Halloween. Hell yeah. Always down for Halloween. Kevin says more Wednesday-ish, so more hump day-ish, you mean? Yes. There's a theme. Courtney says the whole top should be up to the neck, but sheer lace. Ooh, that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. That's actually I don't know. I'm gonna see what you think about what I already started. Because I like the collars. I like the collars on the thing. But at the same time, the sheer lace idea, that's a cool idea. I like that idea. I may change this to that. Yeah, let me just arm over here. Yeah, maybe I'll get ready for the sheer lace. That would be cool. But still have like the little tie in the front, right? Let me just get a little bit of the body drawn in, and then we can figure out how the outfit will go. We'll see what you think of where it's at the moment, and then we can make some adjustments depending on where the ideas go. I gotta draw at least one of the ponytails so I see where that's headed. And we're gonna draw the other ponytail over here. All right, got a little start there. All right, let me catch up with the chat, see where you guys are. Let's see, Ken says if we are celebrating yearly events, the next piece should feature Toyota-thon. Okay, we're gonna subtract points for that one. But it did make me laugh. Some person says, hello, Kat, if she's there. You know, she's not asleep. She's awake. But she's not here. Alas, she is downstairs. I think she's on her iPad, and I think she's coloring Nira X right now. She's helping me with the Nira X deadline. Christy Han, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. He says, hey, all, very cool. Ken laughing. Some person says, Bill, this is the droid you've been looking for. I know. I was thinking the same thing. Kevin says, what would an R2D2, a double D2 look like? Oh, my goodness. All right, I've got some messages coming in. Let's see. I've got some messages coming in. Let's see what you're thinking here. Oh, that is a cool idea. I like that idea. Courtney is sending me some reference. Okay, I like that idea a lot. In fact, I'm gonna keep that up on my phone, so that'll be my little bit of reference. So I'm gonna erase some of that, and then like some of the shapes in the sheer part can be like we could put some Halloween shapes and stuff in there. You see how she's got like the different shapes and stuff, like the flowers and roses and stuff. Here, let me show you guys real quick. This is the inspiration for the lace top. Some person said it would look like a trash can with knockers. Would it be like a trash can, but like those jugs that you put moonshine in? It would just have like two jugs hanging from a rope around its neck, right? Christy Hen says a can with cans. Courtney says, how about the rest sheer lace? LOL. Yes. No, I like the idea that you got cooking. I like it. So I'm gonna have the collar, the tie, and then we're gonna hit it with the sheer lace. So I'm gonna change that up. I'm just gonna catch up with this, get caught up with the chat a little bit, and then I'm gonna start working on that. C36 double DPO. Please, somebody write that down. That's good. A brasura? Oh my goodness, Spanish for garbage. I get it. Some person says, to Ken, the bra is another word for placeholder. Let's see, it looks like it's done. Good evening, folks. See you later. It's been a good. Hey, try the veal. We'll be here all night. The boulder holder. Yep. Toyota thong. I like that. Some person says Kat found out a couch was better than an office chair. Dude, I kid you not, man. She can work anywhere with a freaking iPad. She is comfortable working in pajamas right now. Some person says Wednesday is all macabre. She'd be holding a severed head or about to execute someone. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Let's see. Let me do some augmentation here real quick. I do like the idea of the sheer top going up to her neck. Maybe a little higher on the neck too. So I got the tie. Like so. And let me see. Let me look at something real quick. Okay. Just going to draw a little bit more of the figure so that way we got somewhere to lay the clothes down on. So I'm thinking like a low right, because she's got like the school themed skirt. So I'm gonna have the lace. Now she's holding a severed head. Whose severed head would it be? That might be a good question. All right, so I got a little placeholder for where her hand and her arm are supposed to be. I think this hand is going to be like her expressive hand. She's responding to getting groped on by thing. All right, let me put just a little bit of that pattern on here. I'll give myself a little note here because the skirt, because it's a school skirt, always has like that little plaid kind of pattern to it. There we go. Let me put her like this so that way you can see most of her. There you go. Excellent. Okay, let me catch up with you guys real quick. Make sure I don't fall behind. Courtney says, let's see, only a black cat shape of lace over the over the pussycats. Darn it, and I just put the skirt on her. But I can erase the skirt. That would be kind of cool. Let me see. I like that idea. And here's the thing. Like, thing is supposed to be like copying a feel on her. So that'll open up this little area back here for thing to be doing his thing. Here we go. That's cool. I like that idea. Kitty cat. Actually, what if I had the eyes a little bit more? Like so. There we go. I like where we're headed. I like where we're headed. Excellent. That's cute. I like that. Like someone in a guillotine. Kevin says, that dress showed up just the other night. You're fast, Courtney. Courtney says, I'm hip. I'm with it. Some person says maybe a bureau with all sorts of, or burrow with all sorts of poisons and samples. I do like that idea. That is a cool idea. Let's see. I'm going to give myself a note because thing is going to be over here. We could definitely have maybe like some kind of like apothecary kind of cabinet. Kind of warped a little bit. With potions, and we'll have some potions and things up on top too. Extract of llama. I don't know who's gonna get that. But I said it anyway. And I'm going to loosely put in where the drawers are supposed to be. That way I'm not taking up too much time tonight, just drawing drawers. Always really like apothecaries. Maybe a little cabinet down here at the bottom. Here we'll have a skull peeking out from over here. It's not Halloween unless you got a skull poking out from somewhere. All right. I'll leave a little space here for Thing. I'll draw Thing next. But let me I'm gonna catch up a little bit with you guys. Let me see here. By the way, some person, that was a good idea. I like that idea. Very thematic. I like it. Kevin says, when I hear augmentation, being in California, the breast things pop up in my mind. It is a theme. It is a West Coast California theme. Some person says, this has high all bound up potential. This has high all bound up potential. I like it. I'm going to read it like that. I don't know if I'm sleepy. Did I read that right? Kevin says, severed head, Christopher Lloyd, of course. You know, that does make sense. I'll try to make him look like Christopher Lloyd. Let's see here. You know, if we're gonna try to put Christopher Lloyd into this, I'm gonna put a hoverboard in a corner somewhere. Only because I want the double reference of a Doc Brown joke. Marty. Now, even when I do get the reference that I need for old Christopher Lloyd here, I'm not necessarily a portrait guy, but I'll try to. I'll do my best. Right now, it just looks like random guy. You know what? Let's go ahead and draw a thing. I've been saying for a couple minutes I'm going to draw a thing in here. Thing's having a good time. Thing is having a nice time. All right, let me. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. That way we know where Thing is at. We know what Thing's up to. Yeah, you sent me the Christopher Lloyd reference. The severed head in the jar. It would end up looking more like Christopher Lloyd if I actually drew the jar around his face here. But I will take time. Thank you for sending me the reference, because the actual Christopher Lloyd severed head reference is this guy right here. So I'll take an extra couple of minutes and try to do the face so it's a little bit closer to how he looks. Thanks for sending me that. That's cool. Let's see. Some person says Uncle Fester would have loved it. This is true. Kevin says her uniform is breaking all sorts of rules. So how did she get it approved? Some person says someone could be bound on a bed, Iron Maiden, torture rack, or a pit, the pit and pendulum sort of idea. Yeah, true. We can get some cool ideas going on in the background here. Let me think. I like the Iron Maiden idea, and I like somebody being tied on the bed, but kind of running out of room since I drew it this way. I wonder if I have space. Here we go. Let me just put. At least I can imply like an Iron Maiden casket kind of like open over here. Because that would theme it out like pretty cool. That's a cool idea. the spikes in here. Good Halloween themes. I'm kind of implying where these spikes are. That'll take me some time to draw in, so it looks better. I'm just throwing a jack-o'-lantern in the background here just to kind of eat up this space right here. Just to be kind of cool, a little mysterious little jab in the corner here. I'll turn them totally sideways so you can see. It doesn't fit on the screen. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, Ken says maybe Thing is pulling down the skirt. Yeah, but we already took the skirt off. I mean, I could have the skirt like it's already like down. It could be halfway down her leg, like it was already like coming down. So I'm gonna keep that idea in mind to see if oh, see, Courtney likes that idea too. Let me see if I can make this work. This might be fun. It's a fun idea. Thing is very busy tonight. There we go. Let me put this over here. Cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Courtney says, Ken messaged you as if we aren't in the same room. I know. Are you guys using satellites and technology to talk to each other 3 feet away from each other? That's hilarious. We do that all the time too, though. We live in the future, man. That's what it is. Kevin says, let's see, that pussycat isn't going to lick itself. Some person says, I think Elvira meets the Spanish Inquisition. Now, that would be a piece unto itself. The Spanish Inquisition. Some person says, oh, Thing, you're silly. Courtney says, oh, Thing, what are you going to do with that pinky finger? Thing is like, I have some ideas. Kevin says, sorry if I hijacked the idea, Courtney. Kevin says, are we sure Thing isn't part spider? Kevin says, let's see, I already see a pit and pendulums in this art. Let's see, that pinky finger is very Julius Zimmerman, if you know his art. Very cool. All right, got that tightened up, got that. I like the idea of a pendulum being in here somewhere. I just wanted a cool place to put it. There we go. From the pendulum experts here at pendulums.com comes pendulum. I see pendulums. It's either Halloween themed or it's Tomb Raider themed. Excellent. Get a scraggly rope to hold up this pendulum. Little ominous fog for the floor. Good. I think we're doing excellent. Ken says, leave room for scribe. All right, I'm only writing that note there for myself so that I remember that I've got to redraw his face so it looks a little bit more like Christopher Lloyd. All right, so we definitely have to have scribe in here somewhere. I think I got a place for him. I think I got a place for him over here. And scribe is naturally Halloween themed. There we go. Now we said he's gonna be missing a hand, so I had to double check to make sure I wasn't drawing in the wrong hand. I don't know if he's looking in through a window or he might be looking in through like some kind of vent. Because I can't picture this room being like a normal room. So maybe the vent is like big and like gothic looking or something. Scribe is always the voyeur of our group. Ken says maybe Scribe could be swinging from the pendulum. I should have read that before I started drawing him in the. I drew him in the wall. Because he likes to be a voyeur. Some person says there could be enough room for someone under the pendulum. Kevin says, "Isn't that Scribe on the floor?" No, it's just a skull. poor Scribe. Just straight up kill Scribe again. Kevin says a Scribe version of Miley Cyrus and her wrecking ball. Oh my god, that I do love that idea. All right, well, I drew him here. So I got kind of like a stone wall thing going on over here. So that's where Scribe's coming out of. I have some candles too. What am I? Gotta have some candles around. I don't know if it's such a good idea to have candles like right underneath her pigtail, but let's see here. Here we go. Have a couple of candles. And then this is some cool shadow moon lighting, some little highlight here. Something that takes really not that long to pencil, but it takes so long to ink. But it's going to look cool though, so it's like so worth it. Let's see. Ken says Malka Wednesday needs heels. I don't know if there's enough room. Well, you know what? I could bend her leg a little bit more, so that way we could put heels on her. Because if I put heels on her right now, then it's like her foot's already at the bottom of the page. So let's do a little something so we can make this happen. We'll bend her leg more so that way we have room. It's a good idea. Some of this cabinet down here so we got some space. I like. Fix that angle here. Now you get a choice. We can put her in heels kind of like this. Or heels similar to like Mercy and Allura's heels, where they're like kind of a little bit more futuristic, but like with big chunky heels. Let me finish. Let me finish what I have in mind right now, and you can tell me what you think. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Making sure. I spin the paper around so often. I gotta make sure I look at the screen. Make sure I'm on screen. A little bit of smoke back here. Got her other leg right back here. All right, tell me what you think of that. I think we're doing good on time. We actually did like exactly an hour on this piece, so this is perfect. And I think the second one, if I remember, Kevin, was it Kevin's idea to have Nira X as Lady Death? The two white-haired looks, combine them together. Some person says maybe a tentacle about the wrap around Scribe's head. I do. Yeah, that's actually kind of dope. That's a dope idea. Gives the room a little bit more personality. Here we'll have a couple of tentacles coming down. That's a fun idea. I like that. Scribe always getting in trouble. There we go. Poor Scribe. My boy's always getting in trouble. Oh, so I'll let you see the shoes. That way you can tell me what you think of the shoes. All right, Kevin says, I just pictured chips, dips, chains, and whips. A little witchcraft and candlewood on the nipples. It sounds like a commercial for something. Like, you guys gonna watch the game? We got chips, dips, chains, and whips. Make for a nice Saturday. Some person says maybe an Uncle Fester Nira standing crazily on the pendulum like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Maybe I'll think of that. I'll think about it. I'll see if it sticks. I'll see if it sticks. Kevin says candle wax, dumb autocorrect. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I type really fast. I know what it is. I'm trying to think of another place to put candle wax. All right, I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to put a pin in it. Kevin says taller heels. Kevin says I second. Oh, I skipped the thing. Here we go. Courtney says Ken will always choose stiletto. Yeah, I can make it a little bit taller. Let's see. We can always throw the skull back in later. Here, let's give this a go. We're talking. All right, we'll see. You can let me know if I got your seal of approval on a taller heel. Ken says, "Yep, ain't I stinker?" Kevin says, "Yes, it was. It was I that suggested Nerex. Yes, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought." Ken says, "Since it's Wednesday, the cat over her cat should be a grumpy cat." You know what? That does make sense. That does make sense. Grumpy cat. Perfect. Make sure we have a grumpy cat. You're gonna get a little close up. Grumpy eyes. Kevin says tentacles. That's Jelly. Jelly does need to make his return to the page soon. This is true. Let's see. Kevin says you don't remember that line from Weird Science? It's when Lisa was buying that tiny thong. Oh, see, I wasn't in movie quote mode. You see what happens? That's because I'm thinking of too many things. My brain is going. That's why I need you guys. Kevin says any cat over here kitty would be a happy cat. Yes. All right. I think this piece is pretty good. I think this is good. I think we're in a good place. There's a little haunted drippies here. I think we're almost ready to work on the second piece. What do you guys think? I'll still put I'm still going to put the skull down here. Unhinged in the house with it. What's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight, man. Let's see. Unhinged says, "Hello, fantastic humans. Got my mouse art and book. Thank you. So good. Oh, I'm so glad, dude. I'm glad you're hanging out with us tonight too, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Very, very cool." Courtney says, "Awesome piece, Bill. Very cool. Thank you, Courtney." Ken agrees. Really good. Yeah, I think we're good on this one. So I'm going to set this one aside. Now the ideas. Kevin was the one that tossed the idea of Nira X as Lady Death. So that might be the next piece. I think that's the next piece. Everybody's saying hello. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, mixing up, and Nira and Lady Death, we came out with our characters at almost exactly the same time. Very serendipitous. Is that the word for that? I don't know. I'm not good with the English. Some person sharing some links. Very cool. Please do share those links. I do appreciate that. I know Jason appreciates it. We're all good friends here, so definitely want to share each other's links and make sure that we support each other. Always very cool. Always very cool. Totally support that. All right, so let's see here. I think this is going to be Nira as Lady Death. So let's do a different pose. I'm not even going to give. I'm not going to give Nira pupils because Lady Death doesn't have pupils. This will be fun. This will be cool to put the Lady Death bikini on Nira. I made her snarling. Can't put her nostril up that high. All right, there we go. All right, let me get a little snarky smile on our near a death. Is this near a death? Near death experience. All right, here we go. I'll get a little bit of her face and hair, get a little expression on her, and then I'll jump back over to the chat, see where you guys are. I like that we started this all of the Halloween themed things. Now I like starting it a little early. That's good. It's never too early to celebrate Halloween. That's actually really fun giving Mira Lady Death's hair. I always like the classic bangs, her 90s bangs. Yeah, who knows? Maybe if I ask nicely, maybe one day Brian will let me do a crossover. That would be fun. All right, that's a good little start there. Okay, let me jump over to the chat and see where everybody is real quick. Kevin is saying that less clothing is more, right? And easier to draw. Yeah, I don't have to draw all those clothes. Ken says it's Lady X. I like it. That's perfect. That's actually kind of cool. I like that. That would be the crossover if I could ever do it. Near a death or Lady X. Expired. Extra point. Ken says, well, Kevin, good thing Lady Death isn't known for modesty. Kevin says if Ken gets his hands on her, she will be Lady Triple X. Modesty? With her boobs? Never. Christopher Bouchard says, both artworks look awesome. Oh, thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. I'm glad you're here with us tonight. That's awesome. We got a nice little group all gathered here tonight for our before Halloween special. Ken says, dude, an official Lady Death and Near crossover would be awesome. I know, I might start that conversation. That's something that we kind of, I think we were talking about it back in the 90s. And we had a couple of really fun crossovers back then, but for one reason or another, we never did the Lady Death one. So maybe I need to reach out. All right, just getting her torso and everything where it needs to be, so we can see where everything else is gonna be positioned. Instead of skulls, it could be her her Nira logo. One little string holding up this whole bikini. Oh, you know what? Let me play around with that shape just a little bit before I commit. Got these and these and these. I saw a bikini recently on one of my socials, who knows which one, and it had this kind of open undercut on it. So I was like, oh, let me try that. Because like it's a bikini, but it's also under boob. There we go. It's a good start. It's a good start. We're doing good. All right, let me scroll up, see where we are real quick. All right, Kevin says, gather round, ghoulish friends. Ghoul. That's a good word. I like that word. He's a ghoul. Ken says, hopefully Brian hasn't gotten too big for his britches. He's doing extremely well. He's doing very, very well. Which is good. I want to see independent comics actually doing the breaking the barriers that the kind of barriers that he's breaking, because that's good for everybody. That's good for everybody in on my side of the pond, as it were. Kevin says, I'm glad in here Nira never experiences sweater weather. Ken says, never sweater weather, but things do get nippy. I see what you did there. Kevin says that string must have been stolen from Superman when he had a mullet. It is a very strong string. Ken says, I love the N accessories on the top. Thank you very much. I always like a little excuse to use her little emblem. I like having an excuse to use it. Kevin says, an over boob and in between boob. Yes, Kevin, them triangles are too big. Smaller triangles. They can be made smaller. They can be made sheer. So for whoever might win this piece tonight, if you do want it to lean more not safe for work, then maybe that's something I could do. I can make the top sheer, or I can make the triangles like really small, or maybe just make it the straps instead of having the actual bikini part on the inside. It'd be fun. All right, give Nira, give Lady X some tall boots. Maybe with a little bit of, you know what? Because it's Nira, maybe the cyber skin theme. Since we kind of trying to mix the two themes together, except make it a little bit more Halloween-ish. So like, kind of like that a little bit, and maybe have a little bit of cyber skin armor on here. That would be cool. I love mixing up the two themes. That's really good. There you go. Have it kind of like ripped, or like the cyber skin is still forming her boots. That'll be cool. Yeah, this will be fun. There we go. We'll see how that's looking. See how that's going. See, Kevin says, I'm wondering who's stealing her bikini bottoms. I know, right? I know. I was thinking about what to do with them, and then I kept on like, okay, well, and I still didn't draw them. And I'm like, does she have bikini bottoms? Is that what's going on? Let's see. I think her hip is swinging this way a little bit too far. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm leaving the bikini bottom for last, just in case. Let me shift this over a little bit. Nice. All right, let me let that sit for just a second. See what the paper tells me to do. Kevin says, shredded and torn. She's been through hell getting to this Halloween party. I agree. Kevin says tentacles, maybe tearing them away. That's actually a good idea. I do like the tentacles. Nice little theme for tonight. A skull navel piercing. That could be a possibility. Very small piercing. But a piercing nonetheless. There you go. Have that there. That's a cool idea. I like that. We have her other leg over here. But I like this tentacle idea that you got. So, what if got the legs started, but the tentacles wrapping around it? Who knows how big this guy is? So this is cool. This idea is emerging from your idea, because sometimes as soon as you put the shapes down on the page, that it kind of takes on a life of its own, you know. Like from one angle, it kind of looks like she's about to pet the tentacle, like she's happy that the tentacle's like kind of holding her up. Yeah, I like where this is headed. This is cool. Yes. Nice. Okay, let me see. We got to do something with her other arm. I don't want it to just be outstretched straight, not doing anything. So let's finish up where her hair's at. We'll think about what we're going to be doing with her other arm. Let's see, what another tentacle coming from over here. This piece is coming out cool, dude. You guys had some really cool ideas for this one. Kind of guided me along the way. Is good, is good. Okay, let me catch up with you guys real quick. Let me scroll up. Let's see, Kevin says, I would think she's got other piercings. Ken says, do you think that octopuses have a human arm fetish? Possibly. It would make sense, right? Kevin says, before she knows it, those tentacles are going to have her in quite the pose. Some person says it's kind of Art Nouveau. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of like pushed in a nice little expressive direction, right? Yeah, all the ideas just we brought it together in a nice way. I like it. Kevin says, "Oh, she's getting quite the ride to the party. It's more fun than a pumpkin carriage, and not as prone to splinters. If she was on a broom." Ken says, "No bottoms, huh? Then a tentacle needs to be wandering." Yeah, it's possible that these guys are already wandering a little bit. Let's see here. Let's see. Their arm is doing this. Then we can figure out what she might be doing. There we go. Yeah, I like how this piece has. I like the composition. I like the way this is coming together. It's got a little something something. Look at that shit. All right, I like where that's headed. Let's see. Kevin says her other hand, tugging on the bikini strap. Oh, cool. Thanks, on person. Sharing some much needed links so you guys know where all of our social links are and all that good stuff. Neil, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Neil says, cool. Glad you liked the piece, my friend. Yeah, this is our second sketch of the evening. I don't know if you've been with us the whole time, but I'm glad you're hanging out with us right now. That's cool. At close to midnight, we do an art auction. These are actually the ideas of everybody in the chat. So these pieces of art belong to the chat, and we auction them off close to midnight, or as soon as I start getting a little tired, or the piece looks complete, and then we have a little art auction. Some person is showing you the secret Patreon page that I need to update. So thank you for being patient. I do need to update that with some new stuff here pretty soon. In fact, you know what? I'm definitely going to update it with some new stuff this week. Kevin says, with her arm up, she's got to have the Lady Triple X sword, as if leading her army into war. You know what? The pose of the hand where it's at, I do like the idea of her holding a sword. Let me get where's my other ruler? There we go. Give me a nice little guide. I like that idea, dude. And I think I'll use her another excuse to use the N, her near X logo. And I'll hold it like this. And we get her somewhat straight. I like that idea, dude. I wasn't even thinking about putting a sword in her hand. I just wanted her to have like a cool, expressive, like pose. But I'm like, fuck, no, the sword would be perfect. Good idea, dude. Now, for anybody who's new or haven't seen our show before and don't know how it usually go, when we auction off the pieces at midnight, the pieces that we're working on for the evening, they are in pencil now, but when you receive them, they will be fully inked and completed. It's for the sake of how much time we have on the show that we're basically only doing the pencils during the show. All right, let's get some get the rest of this sword in here. Good idea, Kevin. Dude, I like this much better. Plus, I always like Lady Death holding a sword, so get the little edges on there. Nice. Yeah, that gives it, no pun intended, but it makes it more edgy. And I I like the Lady Death to be a little bit more edgy. Sweet. Dude, that's awesome. This might end up in the Club Corrupt issue. All right, let me scroll up real quick, see where you guys are. Thank you, some person sharing. That's Cat Mouse's. That's my daughter, Cat Mouse Art. That's where you can find all of her links, all of her good stuff, and then she barely started doing some live streaming on Instagram, and she's posting more often now. So she's getting more active on the old Instagram. So please check her out. Kevin says, now I picture her looking into a magic mirror and seeing Malka in a moment of distress. In distress. Let's see, I like the pose without the sword. It felt artistic, but the top of the page seemed lacking. I know, you know what? The direction that my brain was headed in, now I'll keep it sideways so you can actually see the whole thing. Well, I'll put it like this. Because this area of the image was so empty, I was gonna do one of my signature moons back here, a little bit of moonlight, which I still might do. I mean, it's like it still looks like it would work really good right there. But the idea of having the sword and her just holding it over her head, like just elegantly like that, I really like that. That ended up being a really good element. In fact, since I'm thinking of the moon, where's my? There you are. Nah, these circles are too small. I want a bigger, nicer moon. Let me get my compass. Let me get my compass. Where's my compass? I got a compass, but there's a. This one has. There you go. There you go, buddy. I need my bigger compass. I got like a couple different. I got a compass with an ink pen like freaking attached to it, so can't really use that one until I'm inking. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think this will work. Yeah, because I got the tentacles coming from this side like this, and then I got the moon here, and then like the sword like this. It's got a good shape. This is a good shape. I like that. I like the layout. Gives it a little something. I got my little signature moon that I like to draw. It's basically like back when I first started in the 90s, when we first started self-publishing in the 90s, Image came out at the same time. And the way that Todd McFarlane draws moons, like that's the influence that I got. And it stuck with me. I always really, really liked the way that he used to draw, like those cool moon elements or little background planet elements. Yeah, this is. I don't want to add a thing to this one. This is going to be a nice centerpiece. I love the way this came out. All your ideas came out perfectly. It pushed me in all the right directions at just the right time. Christiane says maybe a magic blast. That's a possibility, right? For this hand right here. Or maybe not a blast, but like the energy is emanating from her hand right here. That still works. It's not too much. Good idea, Chris. I like that. Dope. Good idea, dude. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Makes her feel like she's in the middle of like literally doing something, right? Right. Kevin says the twin moons. Thank you, Ken. That's no moon. That's that's Crooked Eye Samurai. Cool, cool, man. I like that name. I like that name. I'm glad you're hanging out with us tonight, man. That's awesome. Let's see. Crooked Eye Samurai says, I was gonna say this is very Angela inspired. Yeah, totally, dude. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's like early Spawn issues. Really, it's ingrained in my brain, you know. So yeah, I'm glad you could see that that inspiration coming through. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I loved OG Angela. For hell, yeah, hell yeah. Oh, my screen went blank. Why'd it go blank? Okay, I'm back. Why did it do that? Every once in a while, my screen will go blank for no reason. I need a new monitor. Courtney says, "This is awesome too, and on a roll tonight." Thank you, Courtney. Crooked Eye says, although Angela wasn't McFarlane property, it was originally a McFarlane property. She was part of the Spawn universe, but she was created by another creator who was writing an issue of Spawn. So I will say that, and honestly I don't remember who it was that actually created Angela, but Angela was an original Spawn character, and then later on, years later, they had a rights fight over it. They had a legal battle over the IP or who owned it, and blah blah blah, and then it ended up going from it ended up they bought it or they settled or whatever it is, and so Angela is no longer a part of the Spawn universe as far as I know. This went straight to whatchamacallit, to the big company. But originally she was always after Spawn. She wanted to kick Spawn's ass. Kevin says, full moon, or did you see the look of the moon on my birthday? It was blood red as it was eclipsed. We celebrated your birthday early, man. The eclipse of the moon. I still got to surprise you with something for your birthday. Kevin says, a blast or magic enchanting her tentacle ride. Ken says tentacles need slime. This is true. I'm going to put this here. That's my little note to make sure that I add a little bit more slime to the tentacles. Kevin says Angela was in Spawn, so yes, she was McFarlane. Yep. Thought there was dispute over her. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they fought over the rights. Because the person that wrote, I forgot what comic book creator wrote the issue that she was introduced in, but he essentially created that character for her, and they went back and forth on who really owned her. So when you create a comic book character in a book that belongs to somebody else, you really have to say ahead of time, hey, this belongs to this person or this belongs to that person. But I think they kind of left it up to assumption, so it ended up in court. Kevin says glistening with something slick. Kevin says I have one of your OG Angelas from 1990 something. Oh yeah, I love drawing her. I used to draw her a little bit more often back in the day. Crooked Eye says I have an Angela Mall did for me in 2012, still on display as well. That's cool, dude. Awesome. Neil Gaiman, thank you, dude. That was gonna bother me for a minute. It's like I knew that I knew. Thank you for sending me the blood red moon. Here we go. I shall show you the blood red moon. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, and is that actually your birthday blood red moon? The actual one? Yeah, I knew who created her. It's just it's embarrassing when I can't recall like information off the top of my head. Always need to be multiple choiced. I'm a terrible test taker. Yeah, it was Neil Gaiman. Yep. Yeah, this piece is looking good, dude. All right, so let's see. These are the two pieces that we have for tonight. So I'm going to set them right here for a second while I catch up with the chat and everybody. And we pencil these a lot tighter than we usually do too. I'm glad that we had enough time to do that. That's awesome. Let's see. Kevin says, yes, it was. Oh, awesome. Very early in the morning, so maybe a good start to the day. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Now I'm assuming this isn't a picture you got from the internet. I'm assuming this is you photographed it. I'm assuming that you're top-notch photographer, dude. It's like you know what you're doing. If I take a picture of the red moon, it comes out looking like a little kid took a picture of it. This is a great picture of it. Let's see here. I wanted to check something out real quick. I didn't know if I had something extra for tonight. I don't have. I was hoping I had something extra, and the other pages for the Nearbuck I can't offer up just yet until I get everything over to Tom. So that is what's going on with that. And I'm almost done with my DC cards. I'm working on. I can't say what set that it is, but there's two different DC sketch card sets that I'm working on that I've got to get in the mail on Monday morning. So busy Bill. Kevin says we have time to quickly. You have time to quickie something, or ink other art. I know Kevin says DC superheroines. we could do an extra little piece. Why not? We've got a couple of minutes. We've got about 12 minutes, 13 minutes. It's like, if I know Bill, it's heroines. Christiane says, third piece. if we okay, you could do post-it art. Oh my God, some person, you're a genius. Post-it art. It could be post-it art. All right, what do I have here? I've got yellow post-its. Yep, I've got yellow post-its, and let's see. I've got yellow post-its, and I will also include a trading card to go with it. So this will be a tiny auction for a tiny piece. All right, there's the trading card. This one's from the Chicago Non-Sports Card Show. It's actually a nice little collector card. I'll throw it in. Bill is a heroin addict. The big piece. You want me to draw on the big piece? Christy Hen says the big piece. I'll tell you what. I'll do something tiny on the post-it, and then we're going to do something on the big piece. We're gonna make it a gesture, I guess, because we're gonna have to make it big. I'll leave the post-it note as is. Now, even though I'll draw like super fast on the big piece of paper, and it's going to be very loose, I'll still ink the big piece of paper. I'm going to do super fast Savage Becca. I haven't drawn Savage Becca in a minute. My boy said post-it art. That's usually Kat's territory. She's the post-it art girl. She sells post-it art for billions of dollars. This one will be way cheaper. Savage Becca has huge hair, which makes the rest of this drawing pretty easy. All right, you guys give me an idea for what character to put on this big piece of paper, and I'm gonna throw it on there as fast as I can. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. There we go. Post-it art. Official post-it art. Here, let me grab this here. And this will be for our tiny auction. We got a little tiny Savage Becca. And a trading card. So I'll set this aside. This will be off to one side so it's safe. And let me look over here and see what possible idea sticks first. Christiane says plenty of time for Bill to rough out a double page spread. Kevin said that's going to have to be big enough to cover up Lady X's lady bits. Ken says you should draw nipples on a post-it so when you use it to cover your art, it still has nipples. All right, Kevin says the mighty endowed from DC's Teen Titans. All right, Courtney says Jessica Rabbit. So that's the first one that kind of sticks in my brain. I don't know who the mighty endowed is. Although, if you're talking about Starfire from Teen Titans. From the Teen Titans. All right, we're going to do a super fast Jessica Rabbit, and we'll just see how it comes out. Oh, Jessica. Those dreamy eyes, am I right? You got me concentrating. You got me quiet. You got me quiet because I'm concentrating. Like, how fast can I draw this? There we go. How fast can Bill draw this? I'm starting to think that the hair over one eye thing that I do with Nira all the time, maybe Jessica's the reason I do that. Granted, I think of a lot of '80s tropes when I draw Nira, so could very well be a very just '80s thing to do. All right, doing pretty good. I don't know how much time we have left. Oh, we're doing pretty good. I still got a couple minutes. Oh, Jessica. Jessica in a red dress. Jessica in a bikini. Jessica in ripped clothing. Jessica in a Nira X outfit. We shall see. In fact, let me I'll catch up with you in the chat here in just a second. Let me just get a little bit of this shape in here, and then we'll figure out what we're doing with her. All right, let's see where we're going with that. Let me check something real quick. Kevin. That's funny, dude. Top heavy. All right, let me catch up with the chat real quick. Fatang, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. Chris Dehan says, rabbit in the bunny suit. Fatang. Let's see, Kevin says, the Mighty Endowed was a character with boobs so big she needed people to help hold her up. But they didn't mind as the boobs were so hypnotic. Were also hypnotic. She was a joke character that pissed people off. That's the little clip art thing you just sent me because she tipped over. Yep. I don't remember seeing her before, dude. That's funny that I don't remember seeing her before. That's funny, though. Ken says, Kevin, that sounds like that chick in the side quest Nira episode that the perv asked about. What about that lady with the titties so big she needs a wheelbarrow? Ken says, Jessica wearing only Post-its. That, I'm considering that. That's not a bad idea. I like how Ken thinks. Ken's better. That's the character. All right, let me fix. Let's see. Let me fix her legs just a little bit. Since we got a couple minutes, I can fix the. I want to just fix the pose of the legs since I've only got a couple lines down. There we go. Post-it note, Jessica. Hell yeah. I like the way your mind works. This is hilarious. I love this. Post-it notes, baby. And it kind of sticks with the theme. It sticks with the theme. Just little post-it notes. Nothing to see here, officer. Couple of throw pillows here and there. I want her to be comfortable while she's posing. There you have it, my friends. The world's fastest The Weekly Mouse sketch. But you know what? This is going to be fun to ink. I'm going to put some color on this. It's going to be dope. You know what? I got enough time to put her other arm over here. I think we're good. All right, let me catch up with you guys real quick. Let me see where you guys are. Or a push a stamp bikini. I like the post-it note idea. That's silly enough that it stuck with me. Ken says, it is Kevin. I thought that dude was joking. Wouldn't you love to lick the stamps? But nowadays they're all self-stick. Kevin says, that dude wasn't joking. There's also a character, I can't remember her name, from Jim Balance' Three Little Kittens book with huge boobs too. Looks up Mighty Endowed. That checks out with Jim Balance. Yeah, it does, for sure. Kevin says they did a lot of obscuring to keep the Mighty Endowed PG for the title. Yeah, I imagine they would, yeah. Courtney says, if color, the post-its need to be red and sparkly. Oh, yeah, dude. That's perfect. Yep. I definitely have to remember that because that would be 100% in character for her. Ken says post-it notes created by three. Kevin says red and sparkly or pink. I think the red and sparkly is kind of dope. I think it's kind of dope. All right, this is going to be our third auction. It's going to be the set. How's that? This is going to be a set. All right, so we're gonna do a couple things. We'll do them in order, since we did things in some kind of order, some kind of odor. All right, let me set this over here so it's safe. Perfect. All right, the first piece of the evening for our midnight auction. Actually, let me get the little thing up so that way we know what's going on. Because we have our little auction time. We have our little thing. So we're gonna let this go until 12. It's 12:01 right now, so we'll let it go until 12:06. And I'll write down the thingies on here. Let me see. Let me catch up with the chat just a little bit. Kevin was saying pink and what was the ink and paint club color. Christiane says hard choices tonight. Yeah, I know it's pretty tight tonight. It's you guys had some really, really cool ideas, dude. Just straight up good ideas. Came together real good tonight. Kevin says Jessica needs a big fan blowing on her. I think Jessica's good. Just the way she is. You tell me check. I'm just kidding. All right, our first piece is our Halloween Wednesday Malka Cyber Angel Wednesday piece. So I'm going to let this go until, well, technically, I'm sorry. I guess we're starting it right now. So it's 12:02, so let's say 12:07. Let me get a pencil here real quick so I can write things down as we go along. Now look at me sharpening my pencil. Then a wood chipper. All right, so I'm going to write down, this is for the Wednesday piece. With Thing getting his way. Let me see. Let me set my pencils over here real quick. Everything's out of my way. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys. All right, Kevin's starting things off with $1. I'm going to write it down because I respect your $1 bid, my friend. And I respect yours too, your $3 bid. Christiane with $3. Getting things rolling. Courtney's like, haha, I laugh at your $3. Thank you, Courtney. In the room with 50. Awesome. Paul in the room with 69. Our tradition is complete. You're awesome, Paul. 69 in the house. We know what's up. I broke my pencil already, so I had to. There we go. All right, Paul's got the heavy hitter bid in the room right now for Wednesday. The 69, our traditionary bid. There's a couple of good bids that we have that are tradition. I know, Kevin, he stole your bid. That's the drama. That's what happens, man. Let's see, it's 12:04. We're going to 12:07. Ken knows what's up. 69. You're awesome, dude. I'm going to write it down just like that, too. It needs to be written down just like that. Helps me keep track as the chat rolls up, and then I don't have to scroll back up. 69. You have out 69'd the 69 bid. This could be awesome. Let me turn it more sideways so that you see. There we go. Paul says, I need William Shatner yelling, Ken! I'll leave your bid on a dead planet, buried alive. Alive. Let's see. Kevin says, who crossed the streams? I know, right? Crooked Eye Samurai says, you ink and color each piece as well. Okay, yeah. You know what? I wasn't explaining things for anybody new that was coming in. So the pieces, they're in pencil when we bid on them. I do completely ink them before you receive them. So you are going to receive a fully inked piece. And that's the original that you will receive. And then it goes in a long queue for my Patreon page. I'll put digital colors on each piece as we go along. It's a very long list right now, so it's going to take a little while to get to this one. But we are making our way down the list. So once on the Patreon page, you could download the high res file, and there's your color. So, but the original that you'll receive in the mail is going to be the black and white art, the 11 by 17 in ink. Courtney in the room with 8008. Oh, boob. Oh my God, you're awesome. This is why we love you. You're awesome. You're the shit. That's awesome. Courtney in the house with 8008. I mean, boob. I mean, 8008. Christiane says, nice. Kevin says 8-2. Went for the boob joke. Yay! Get extra points for that. That's awesome. Gotta love a good 8008. A pair of them too. Oh my God, yes, Courtney. New tradition is set. That is absolutely a new tradition. If somebody misses the opportunity for an 8008, I'll be very sad. I'll be very sad. You've set new standards. This is awesome. Mighty Geek, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Mighty Geek says, Bill, you do know that smut will end your channel. No, don't end my channel. I don't draw smut. Just like cheesecake. Fatang says, add a $sign in the front or back. And it works both ways. Smut? Where? Fatang, make it plural. Oh, I got it. Oh, dude, that's genius. Ken says, boo this man. It's not smut, it's Tums. Kevin says, as the back is more fitting. All right, looks like our time is up for the evening. I'm gonna pop into the live chat. I do the 10-second countdown. There is a 3-second rule that we started that everybody likes, so we're gonna keep it. So when we get to 3 seconds, if there's an interruption in the bid, we start at 3 seconds again. But I do the bid in the live chat on the YouTube channel, so that way everybody's on the same page and we know there's no question about who won the high bid. So starting 10-second countdown right now with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Marking it sold with 000. And it is sold. Let me scroll up. Make sure that I did not miss anything. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Nobody jumped in. Courtney, please, everybody congratulate Courtney. First of all, for setting this a new standard, for setting a new tradition with funny bids. This is the best new funny bid. You're so awesome. All right, I'm going to mark that for you, Courtney. And let me see. Let me write your name on the back of this one. Ken says Courtney's boob won. Courtney says boob for the win. Paul says congratulations. Crooked Eye Samurai says congrats. Kevin says boobs for the win. Kevin, you're bidding $1. What? Chris Dehan says congrats. New tradition. Courtney's saying thank you to all. That is awesome. Mighty Geek says boob wins again. Courtney says I'm glad everyone enjoyed my boob. Your boob was awesome, Courtney. I'm going to set your artwork over here where it is safe. And we're going to bring out the next piece, which is our Lady X, Nira Death. It's a combination of Nira X and Lady Death together. So it's 12:11, so I think we're going to go till 12:16. Write down Lady X here. And I believe Kevin was starting it off with $1 already. So I saw that dollar back over there. I saw what was going on. Paul says, has Kevin $1 ever actually won? No, but it's a respectable way of getting the wheels turning. I respect the $1. Every dollar is a good dollar. It's support. It's love, my friend. Oh, thank you, Courtney. I just heard my phone do the cha-ching thing. Thank you for sending that over. You're awesome. Let's see. Kevin says you missed my earlier post. Oh, I did. I was going fast. I'm sorry. Ken says almost, Paul. Some person says we all know boobs make for an encore. I've been drawing boobs for 35 years. It's what I'm known for. Crooked Eye Samurai says, hope we see another boob now. Yeah, we've got a pair. We've got a pair here. Mighty Geek in the house with $2. You know what? I'm gonna write that down because I respect those $2. Hell yeah. That's good, man. I appreciate you, dude. Thanks, man. Chris Dehan in the room with 5. Thank you, dude. Paul in the house with 35. Thanks, Paul. Some person says Bill is the grand master of the rack. Christy Handback with 38. Thanks so much, dude. Kevin Green in the house with 69. You got your 69, my friend. Tradition secured. Christy Hand in the house with 70. Thanks, dude. Oh, yeah. Thank you for writing bid next to your 70. I forget. We have rules around here. You're awesome, dude. Yep. Chris Dehan currently the top bid with 70. We're going till 12:16. It's 12:14 right now. Mighty Geek says, anyone sensing a pattern here? I love you, bro. Ken in the room with boob. 8008. New tradition status achieved. Kevin says, yep. Christy Hand in the room with 85. Thanks, dude. You guys are awesome. Hey, man, if you can't make Saturday fun, what are Saturdays for? Is what I'm saying. Got 1 minute left. And then we're going to go to our bonus round. We got a cheap bonus round happening like right after. It was like a quickie. All right, a minute is almost up. And then once again, I'm going to jump into the pop-out live chat, the actual live chat on the YouTube channel. So that way it's synced up correctly. If you happen to be bidding or commenting or anything from one of our Facebook pages, I always recommend everybody come over to the live chat on the YouTube channel. Just so that we're all synced in as good as we can be, so nobody snipes your bid or anything like that. And plus, sometimes they drop comments. Mighty Geek says, "I believe Lady Death is an E cup." You might be right. I might have to correct my drawing. She's got all the letters of the alphabet. Sorry, I had to sharpen my pencil again. All right, looks like our time is up. I'm going to go ahead and start the 10-second countdown, jumping over to the live chat, starting with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, we have an interruption. Ken in the house. Oh, let me see if I can click on it. There you go. Ken in the house with 95. Thanks, dude. And Chris Dehan back in the house with 98. The drama is getting thick in the House of Mouse. Ken back in the house with 103. Thanks, dude. All right, starting the countdown at, Chris Dehan in the house again with 105. Thanks, bro. Kevin says, interrupted? Interrupted. All right, Chris Dehan is in the room right now with 105. Thanks, dude. I'm going to start the countdown now at the 3-second mark. So we've got 3, 2, 1. And I'm marking it 000 to mark it as sold. And sold. All right, let me let's see. Let me scroll up, make sure everything is, nothing came in between. 105 was the high bid. Chris Dehan, you are the winner, dude. I'm gonna mark that right here. Please, everybody, congratulate Chris. That was a tighter race. That was a tighter race. All right, let me jump back over here in the chat again. Ken is saying congrats. Awesome. Kevin says, lucky fucker. Whistles innocently. Chris Dehan is saying thanks. Awesome. Courtney says congrats. That's a gorgeous piece. Very cool. Paul says congratulations. It's always awesome when it goes over 100. It really shows the respect we all have for the work. Oh, you're awesome, Paul. Thanks, man. Yeah, you guys are awesome, dude. All right, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and write your name on the back of this one. This one is yours, my friend. And you can let me know at your convenience. You can let me know if you want me to leave it just like this when I ink it, or if you want me to lean it a little bit more not safe for work. I know a lot of our pieces go back and forth, so it's all good either way you want to go. For sure, man. That's what it's all about. This is an excuse for us to do something fun together on Saturday nights, and the fact that we can do this and we can collect art and make it all happen. That's awesome. Awesome. Ken says, true dad. All right, I'm going to set this aside for you, dude. Make sure I don't step on my cords here. All right, we're on my Honda Accords. All right, we've got our bonus round for the evening. We've got Jessica wearing her Post-its. And it's 12:20 right now, so we're going to let this go till 12:25. This is for Jessica. There we go. Write that down right there. We're good. It comes with a collectible trading card. It comes with the very rare Post-it note, Savage Becca. And of course, we got the Jessica piece. Now, remember, even though this was like a quick sketch, the idea is that you're going to get a fully inked, finished piece. when you receive the artwork. And then later on, when I do have time to put some digital colors on it, they will end up on our secret Patreon page where you can download. Everybody can go ahead and download the high res digital of it. If it's like this, it's unfortunately it's behind the paywall. But I mean, you could jump in, pay for like the 1 month, download everything, and hop back out if you wanted to, or if you want to continue giving me a couple of bucks so that we have pencils and pens and extra things for the studio. That's all good too, man. I appreciate everybody's support. So we can keep on doing this and having fun. Let's see. Kevin says this art had better go for a boob. Paul says go all Batman Schumacher nipples Schumacher for whacking. All right, Ken's in the room with $2. Thanks, Ken. I'm gonna write that $2 down, man. Chris Dehan in the room with 5. Thanks, man. Kevin says, can I bid the cost of the Post-its? No, you must bid. You must bid many treasures. Do. All right, you got 3 more minutes left on here. Paul, you're awesome, dude. Paul's in a room with 45. He says, dude, I'm not joking around. We know what we're here for. I've got the power. And I know Jessica needs a good home, so. Ken in the room with 69 because you wanted to get the 69 bid. Thanks, brother. Chris Dehan has a 48 bid. Unfortunately, Ken has already got you with 69, so we're moving on. But I'm going to write your bid down anyway because I respect it, dude. Ken was just typing faster, that's all. Chris Dehan with 69.69. Hell yeah. That's like double tradition. That's like a loophole in order to have the traditionary bid. I love it. 69.69. That's the best Saturday night ever. All right, got a minute left. 1 more minute. 1 minuto. 1 pimiento. I get to sharpen my pencil. All right. Ken is like, boo bid. Now you have to actually type the numbers. You got to type the numbers. You can't put boo bid. So Chris Dehan is currently still the biggest bid in the room. Hell yeah. Ken in the room with boob. Courtney, you have truly. This is like such a good one. This is a mainstay. 69 was always recognized, but 8008 is actually new to me. And I'm just like, that's awesome. Kevin says, I recognize boob. Ken says, you're no fun. Courtney says, I'm so excited about the boob. That's why God made them. It makes the world a happier place. It's just a happier place. It's the simple things. All right, it is 12:25. Time is up. So Oh, some person says another way to say that. That's good. Kevin says Bill is a newbie to the booby. I mean, I knew about like spelling boobies upside down on my calculator. You know, it's like I was there for that. I was there when we started that. All right, guys, I am headed over to. Let me see. I'll put the. That's Ken's bid right now. He's got the winning bid in the house currently. Oh, Chris Dehan in the room with 85. Thanks, dude. And Kevin says the simplest things are the best things in life. Isn't it the truth, though? All right, Chris Dehan currently has the winning bid. We're going to go ahead and start the 10-second countdown. I'm jumping over to the live chat to do that, so that way we're all synced up. Starting with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Up, stopped at the 2-yard line. I had to stop at the 2-yard line. I see Ken has an 88 bid at the 2 mark, which is good that I'm using the live chat because it didn't pop up on my thing on my live stream until just now. So Ken in the room with 88. Thanks, dude. When this baby hits 88. Chris Dehan back in the room with 90. Thanks, bro. All right, we're going to start the countdown again at the 3-yard line. I like calling it yard lines. All right, starting at the 3-yard line, it is 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got an interruption. Ken back in the house with 95. Thanks, dude. This is tense. This is tense. This is good drama. All right, starting at the 3-yard line again because we had the interruption at the 2-second mark. It's like defusing a bomb. Get to the chopper. All right, starting with 3, 2, 1, and marking it 000 to mark it as sold and sold. All right, let me scroll up. Let me make sure that we've got everything correct. Ken in the house. Please, everybody, congratulate Ken. He got that one with 95. Awesome, dude. Jessica is going home to Ken's house. Please, everybody, congratulate Ken. That was a nice tight race. Kevin Green says congrats. Christy Hen says congrats. Awesome, awesome. Good going, Ken, says Paul. Ken saying thank you. Very, very cool. Ken says good game, Chris. It was. That was a good game. Courtney. Boob. That is my favorite way to type boob. Some person says, imagine taking a Post-it to the frame store. Somebody's got to do it. You must do it. Do it now. Get to the chopper. All right, I'm going to set this right here. And I'm going to set our other 2 pieces right here too. So this is our bounty for the evening. So much fun, guys. This is awesome. Christiane says, yeah, that's awesome. Very cool, dude. I'm glad that we all can have fun together. This is a lot of fun. It's not like, we can't just go to Comic-Con every week and hang out at the table and just draw and joke around and stuff. So this is awesome. Kevin says, I have a suggestion for a tightly squeezed pair. Exactly. So cool, dude. Ken says safe for work on Jessica Rabbit. The Post-its just work. Perfect, dude. I'm going to put that on the note on the back. So that way I am on the ball. Excellent. Cool, cool. Perfect, dude. All right, I'm gonna set this right here. Yeah, the post-its are that's what makes this piece. It makes it funny. I love it. I love it. Good idea, guys. Such good ideas. I see Kevin says, Courtney, remind me to the nuclear boobs up my Pendleton. Don't know what that means. Ken says, can you put a small stack of discarded post-it notes in that? There you go. I got a small little stack of post-it notes that always get used for something. Here you go. I got extra post-it notes. Paul, what's up, dude? Have you been here the whole time? I'm glad you're hanging out with us, dude. Paul says, greetings, Bill. Any chance you'll be at Motor City Comic Con in November? Unfortunately, no. I have one more appearance for this year, and it's actually in Virginia Beach on the 20th. And I did have an appearance that was in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I had to cancel that one. The deadlines, the commissions, I really need to sit down and catch up on everything and update the Patreon page and get these book deadlines out. So unfortunately, no, I'm no more unless I get invited to something last minute that I don't know about. This might be it for the year until next year. So it's unfortunate. It's like I do want to go up there, but I won't be there this time. But I appreciate you asking though, because it reminds me to make sure it's on my list of shows to add to the list of shows. Christiane says, like on the floor, the post-it notes. Ken says, no, I'm in drawing on art thing. Let's see. Christiane says, or flying across the page from a fan. Yeah, on the floor. Christiane says, and it just happened to land there. Paul says, just got here. Got you, man. I gotta stay in touch with what you're doing. Keep me updated on your situation, where you're moving to. If you're moving to a place, I know you were moving around and getting a different job and all that sort of stuff. So keep me in the loop, dude. Some person says, I assume Bill has lots of Post-its with butts on them, with notes next to them to buy milk and cookies. You guys know me too well, sometimes. Paul says, does his Ariel impression. I want to be where the Post-its are. I would sing it, but my voice isn't quite right for Ariel. But I do want to be where the Post-its are. Where the people are. Oh shit. This has been an awesome Saturday. Thanks guys for hanging out with me tonight. I hope the rest of the weekend treats you guys good. Enjoy your Sunday. Tomorrow morning, I might take some video, but I'm not going to be live tomorrow at any point. But Kat and I are going to be working on a mural down at the beach that we're trying to finish up, and then I'll be working on deadlines and commissions and stuff in the afternoon. So it's going to be a nice busy weekend. So Kevin says, I think the Post-its need a little shadowing on them. Yeah, we'll definitely have to hook them up, put little indentations on them, little something. Oh man. But yeah, I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna take a break and grab a snack. Let me see here. Let me see. Oops. Let me see here. Oh, I get it. Okay, Ken had to clear up what he was trying to tell me. He wanted me to draw a small stack of Post-its on the floor of the piece. So so I don't forget, I'm gonna draw them right here. Our traditional Post-its. Here, I'll draw an extra one over here like she was. There we go. That way we don't forget. You guys are awesome, dude. Ooh, let me turn this off. That doesn't need to be there. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Paul says, new apartment on Monday. Oh, I'm so happy for you, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you're moving into a new place, dude. Yeah, just like going back and forth and being in between places. It's it's a hassle. It's such a hassle. So I'm glad that you got a new place. Very, very cool, dude. I covered up everybody. Here we go. Let me put that there, put that there, put that there. There we go. That's our haul for the evening. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna head on out. Thank you again so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to I think you know what? Milk and cookies I think are in order. And maybe passing out, but I got some more stuff to do tonight, so it's all good. You guys have a good one, and I will see you guys again soon. I'll post whether or not we're going to have a show next Saturday. I do have a comic convention that I'm going to be at, but I think I'm going to be home early enough that it shouldn't really affect anything. So hopefully I will see you guys next week. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks again, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Good night, Seattle.